Hey guys, it's Nathan from Arms of Ilum, and today we have something new for you. Yeah, that's right, it is not a Darth Vader conversion. Instead, it is a Hasbro Force Effects Black Series Yoda conversion, a total conversion build that I just completed for Ernie. This is something a little new. I know I've done a ton of Vader builds lately. In all seriousness, I enjoy them, but sometimes I just need to change. Thankfully, Ernie was sending me a Vader, but he also wanted to throw in another conversion, and that was this Yoda. It was honestly a little bit of a challenge to step out of that Vader realm for a little bit and work on something that's this small, because I'm just so used to working on those large Vader MPP style hilts. But regardless, let's talk about what makes this guy special and why I'm making a video to show this to you guys today. So, Ernie sent this over and he wanted a basic conversion. He got in right before I removed it from the site, and I decided to honor that offer because he asked for it before it was technically gone, so got to do it. However, I found when I got it in hand that there was a bit of a problem. You see, the old Master Replicas and the Hasbro Signature Series Yoda hilts work perfectly fine with the conversion kit from the custom saber shop. However, the Black Series ones are just a tad different. More specifically, the soundboards inside the Black Series hilts are different. They feature a stem that extends, and I might insert a picture here, but they feature a stem that extends into the blade. And what that means is that they're quite a bit longer than the previous soundboards that Master Replicas and even Hasbro early on used. What that meant for this was that the board was just too long to fit inside this hilt with the conversion kit installed. There was just nowhere to put it. I didn't realize that at the time that I accepted this, and felt quite bad, but I just could not do the project as originally offered. So therefore, what I decided to do was offer Ernie a shot at a new offering that I'd been kicking around for really not all that long at the time, maybe really only a matter of days, and that was to do a build based on Saberforge's new SaberCore 2.5 USA soundboard. Now, the SaberCore 2.5 USA is really an incremental upgrade on the SaberCore 2.0. It's basically the same board, but it features both of the light side and the dark side, or Viridian and Crimson sound fonts respectively, all on one chip, therefore kind of uniting the two SaberCore 2.0 boards into a single product. I found those at a reasonable price, and I plan on offering them as an option moving forward in lieu of the original or the basic conversions, the in-hilt LED conversions that I offered previously. They're a fairly easy board to work with. They feature some additional features over the original Force Effects boards, and I think they're a worthy upgrade for folks who want to get a little bit more out of their sabers. Haven't exactly decided a price point on those, but I think we're probably looking at around $200 once all is said and done. They'll be on the site pretty soon, and with final pricing once I hash that out. So, Ernie's the first. He was kind of the test case for that new offering. Because we needed to do a complete gut of this, it also meant that I designed a new chassis, which you'll see here in a moment, for the Yoda hilt specifically. It features a recharge port, obviously space for the SaberCore 2.5, the Nano Biscotti, the Pico Crumble, and technically the Plector Labs Prism version 5.1 soundboards, although you would have to figure out how you're going to do the auxiliary switch with those, so I'm probably not going to advertise this chassis as being compatible with those because I don't know exactly how you're going to fit one. I mean, let's be honest, there's some creative people out there. You probably could find a place to put an auxiliary switch on this. I just haven't quite hashed that out myself. You've got the 28mm bass speaker from the custom saber shop, as is pretty standard on most of my builds. And then I replaced the sliding switch, or at least part of the sliding switch, with a momentary push button as is required by this soundboard right here. So let's go ahead and check out that chassis and point out a few differences between the chassis that's in here as opposed to the production version that you guys will see probably on places like Shapeways. Let's go ahead and slide it out. All you have to do is remove that pommel and slide it out. And here you have it. Let's take a closer look at it. You can see the soundboard right there. Sits pretty comfortably in that slot underneath. That's an 18500 lithium ion battery. Might have said 18650 just a moment ago, but it's an 18500 lithium ion battery from the Custom Saber Shop, 1400 milliamp hours. Guys, you probably could do an 18650 in these, but space is at a premium. I didn't really want to risk it. The 18500 works just fine, gives enough juice to power this guy for almost probably 45 minutes of constant use. I think that's pretty reasonable for something like this. So you've got that, and then there's a recharge port, as I include on all of my chassis at this point, right there, or almost all of them. So it slides right in. Now here's the difference. On the production versions, one, they won't need this tape as a shim. I've beefed up the base a little bit here near the speaker. I've also extended it a little bit. Basically what I ran into with this prototype version is that it wiggled a little bit once you got it inside the hilt. The production version, once you put the pommel on, will wedge against that plastic liner piece inside the hilt to really keep everything very snug. Ernie, if you're watching this, you'll find that there's a little, and we probably already covered this by the time this video goes up, but there's going to be a little bit of a spacer that I'm actually printing right now that will go in the back here and keep everything snug. So when you unscrew it, that thing, just pull that out and then pull out the rest of the chassis. Let's go ahead and stick the pommel back on and insert a blade. This is just a demo blade from my son's Saber. Nothing special here. Yours will probably be about 6 inches longer than this one, but it makes a good demonstration. I found that every blade that I use with these conversion kits are extremely tight, except for the Saber Z blades and the ones that I make using blade stock from the Custom Saber Shop. Everything else just seems to be extremely tight, so you'll probably have to give it a little bit of a twist to get it in there. Just get it nice and snug. It's not going to come out. And then just, got my Allen key here. Just take a 5/64 Allen key and tighten down the set screw until you feel it snug up right there, and everything's in place. So let's go ahead and go over some of the features of this soundboard. To power it on, you simply press the activation switch, and we should boot up into the Viridian sound font. This is the standard light side sound font that Saberforge offers on these boards. Pretty good swing sensitivity. The clash detection isn't too bad. But not quite as sensitive as you'll find on a higher end board like something from Plector Labs. One of the challenges, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off with the long press there. One of the challenges as far as getting the sensitivity settings right with this particular Saber is that once everything's inserted, really the soundboard is really close to the middle of the hilt, which means it's just really the worst place for it. It's right underneath your hand. Your hand isn't moving. The angular momentum that you're getting at that point just isn't great. The detection is just not going to be as good on a board that's sitting in the middle of the hilt versus one that's sitting farther towards either end. That's just kind of how it is in something this small. So it's nice to have the adjustable sensitivity settings to tweak this to your liking. So how do we get to those? Let's go ahead.
Main menu.
And
Select
a long press
optical frequency 1.
past that first beep, which is the beep for sound font changing, and we'll go over that in just a moment. We'll take you to the main menu. Here you can select things like your flicker speed. Setting number 1 here is a static blade.
2.
And I should say these are not really flickers, they're more like pulses of varying speeds. So there's setting 2.
3. 4. 5.
And you can see they get progressively faster as you go through them. None of them are all that awesome by my standards, really. There's no randomization to the flicker or the pulse. It's even, I think the OEM for these boards says that it's just a sine wave. So you've basically got on and off, on and off, on and off flicker here that just creates really a strobe effect. So we'll go back to 1, which is really fine for something that's replacing a Force Effects board, since the Force Effects board is a static blade anyway. Long press will select that setting.
Select sound intensity low.
So you got your low sound sensitivity, high,
muted,
and mute for those situations where you might want a stunt style saber.
Low, high.
We'll go with high because we want this to be loud.
Select impact sensitivity 1.
So for impact sensitivity, because the soundboard is in kind of an inconvenient place inside the hilt, we're going to go with 5 here.
2, 3, 4, 5. Select motion sensitivity 1, 2.
And I'm going to leave this at 2. I found that as far as swings go, this is a pretty sensitive board.
All settings saved.
It saves the settings and activates the saber. So there you have it. Long press turns it off. Now let's talk about switching those fonts. You'll probably want to leave it at this Viridian font most of the time. It's the light side font. It's the best of the 2 fonts by a pretty large margin in my opinion. But hey, maybe you want to pretend like Yoda went to the dark side or something. It's really very simple to switch to that.
SaberCore Crimson.
Hold it down, a long press again, but just until that first beep, and then release it. Now that you'll hear a crimson, another short press.
SaberCore Viridian.
Back to Viridian.
SaberCore Crimson.
Short press, back to crimson. Now you want to use crimson, you then do another long press to that first beep.
Crimson.
You'll hear SaberCore Crimson again, and then a short press will take you to crimson. On this font, you've got short, aggressive swings. You've got those quick, aggressive clashes. So it's really just an aggressive font, but I just don't think the hum is as impressive as Viridian. That's just my opinion, though. Let's go ahead and power it down. Oh, I should mention, there are auxiliary settings with this board. We should check out the Viridian setting just before we finish up here. But with Crimson, it's a Force Lightning effect, or it could be a blade lockup, depending on which you want it to be. Use your imagination there. Go ahead and power it down. Let's go back to the Viridian. It's a blaster block effect on Viridian, so.
SaberCore Viridian. SaberCore Viridian.
And here, I kind of like that. Sounds kind of cool. I like blaster block effects in sabers. This one's probably not the most impressive just because you don't get any kind of feedback in the blade when it does it, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? Alright guys, so that pretty well covers it. This saber will be shipping out to Ernie probably tomorrow. Overall, it's a nice new offering. I'm really excited to bring the SaberCore 2.5 to people who are looking for something a little bit more affordable to bridge the gap between the Force Effects board and some of the higher end offerings. If you guys have any questions about this saber or any of the others that I've done, be sure to post those in the comments. I haven't quite yet opened up commissions again. Probably another week or two out before I'll do that. Regardless, the information about my commissions will be in the description below. So check that out if you're interested in at least seeing the pricing. I haven't been all that great about answering questions about those. Try and do my best if you have any. You can reach me through the site though. Other than that, if you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. There will be more Saber content coming very, very soon. And give this video a like. As always, guys, thanks for watching. May the Force be with you.